So, James, tell us what you do. What's your role?
Yeah, so I'm a partnerships manager for Compassion. So we work in partnerships with lots of local churches like Sutton Baptist, but also many other churches across the West Midlands, which is the area that I'm responsible for. And so my job is to nurture the relationships that we have and also find new relationships with churches and other Christian organisations, event holders, people that do worship, concerts, that sort of thing.
So what does that look like week to week?
So I spend most of my weekdays connecting with people on the phone, via email, and then trying to get meetings with them, go and take them for coffee, find out a bit more about them and their ministry and share about Compassion. And hopefully, if I do a good job in that, they'll invite me to be a part of their church, to come and share with them, to come and preach in their church and invite people in their church to get involved and sponsor through Compassion.
So how many Sundays are you out preaching rather than here? On average in a year?
More than I should. So last year I did about 40 events over Saturdays and Sundays.
You preach more than me.
Yeah. I don't always
Same
preach.
sermon or different ones?
It evolves over time.
Brilliant.
I'd just like to say for the record that none of the people I work with are irritating, Donald. They're all lovely.
Of course not. It's just the people I work with. So, joke. So, how can we pray for you? In a moment, I'm going to invite people to come and lay hands on you, and I've asked a couple of people within that to pray for you. But how can we pray for you?
Yeah, well, just for God's continued grace, I've really felt God's blessing in my work, particularly in the last 12 months. He's opened a lot of doors, and just pray for that to continue. Pray for wisdom and just the discernment to pursue the right opportunities and lay down the things that are not going to be so fruitful, and the balance of work and family life and all of that sort of stuff as well. And for Compassion, Compassion had a good year financially last year. We raised more money than we ever have done before, but that money isn't going as far as it used to because of the cost of living and the cost for providing the care that we do to the children we serve. So we're actually serving about 1,500 children less than we were a year ago. So our heart is to begin to see that grow again in the coming years. And we really want to see significant growth through. We've got a goal as an organisation to see Compassion UK supporting 200,000 children by 2030.
And what's the figure at the moment?
It's about 113,000.
Right. And when we've met, we've had coffees for a long time over the years, and there's quite a story as to how this came about and what God has been doing in your heart. So just tell us what it means to you, because this isn't just a job, is it? What does it mean to you?
Well, I kind of came to faith in my mid-20s, and so I'd already started my work career. I worked in business for nearly 20 years. But when I came to faith, quite early on in that process, I began to ask and pray into, now that I'm a Christian, am I doing the job that I should be doing? Am I in the right place? And I just had a small sense to begin with, but over a period of probably 10 years, just this increasing sense that God was calling me into something else. And then through an incredible set of circumstances at the end, I quit my job and I signed up to study at university, and I looked for a part-time job. I wasn't looking particularly to work for a charity. I was just looking for a job to pay the bills. And yeah, this opportunity with Compassion came up, and just the timing of it and the history of it with David Whitehouse, who many of you know, who he first introduced me to Compassion, and he was a long-standing family friend of mine. He was my granddad's business partner, so he'd been involved with our family for many, many years, and he introduced me to Compassion. And then just at the right moment, a job with Compassion came along. And so I've just really felt God's hand in, first of all, leading me to that point, and then just providing that opportunity to come and work for this incredible ministry. And
what is it about Compassion? What does it do that you really, really believe in? When we talked about Haiti, and that's, I know, a huge country of concern. So tell us what difference you think it makes and why you believe in it.
Well, when you see the conditions that people live in and the hopelessness that that causes, it's just truly heartbreaking. And then you see Compassion equipping a local church to reach out into that community and provide the basic fundamentals that every child should have, an education, enough food, healthcare, safety and security, but also the eternal hope found in relationship with Jesus. The fact that they do that and the transformational journeys and the testimonies that you see and hear. It's such a privilege to hear so many testimonies of lives transformed, communities transformed as a result of the work of that local church that Compassion has helped to empower. It's just an incredible privilege to be part of that. But as I shared this morning, the kind of at a macro level, poverty, extreme poverty has reduced massively over the last 100 years or so, in particular in the last 20 or 30 years, although it has increased recently because of COVID and the cost of living. I really believe that extreme poverty can be eradicated, and in my lifetime. So I just really feel called to be a part of that and just to play a little part, a small part in doing something that I think is incredible and is really in the heart of God's message to us.
And if folks want to sponsor a child, how much is it a month?
It's £32, so about £1 a day.